Now, Microsoft may have just won a major victory for privacy. A US appeals court ruled on Thursday that the computing giant didn't have to turn over emails to the US government. Well, that's because Microsoft was storing the emails on servers located outside of the United States. The ruling overturns a previous judgment against Microsoft. The US government was trying to get access to the emails in connection to a narcotics case. Now, let's hear from Simon McGarr of McGarr Solicitors. He filed a legal brief supporting Microsoft on behalf of digital rights groups in Ireland, and he joins us now from Dublin. Mr. McGarr, just explain what your main legal argument was here.
The primary argument for our clients was that there actually is an existing mechanism to make sure that countries can cooperate in respect of criminal investigations cross-border. It's called the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty. The United States has mutual legal assistance treaties with all the countries of the EU, including Ireland, but also with lots of other countries, over 50 countries, including Turkey and other parts of the world. And it's a recognised method of, at the same time, respecting countries' independent sovereignty and the limits to your own court borders, but also to recognise that it's in everyone's interest that criminal investigations across borders should be able to be completed. So for that reason, we said that this existing mechanism was the appropriate mechanism for making a request of this sort.
And what was your main concern, your client's main concern?
Well, as things stood, we had a situation where the court and the Department of Justice were suggesting that US courts had a unique capacity to issue warrants which had effect outside the jurisdiction of the United States and could compel Microsoft, for example, in this case, to move personal data in a way which might be incompatible with the laws of the country that the data was being held. And so it put companies like Microsoft in an impossible position. They might have to break one country's laws where they were operating in order to allow the United States laws to be respected.
And this decision has very important commercial implications, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly had commercial implications for all of the cloud companies in the United States. If the decision had stood and hadn't been successfully overturned, it would have meant that companies in the US were uniquely disadvantaged in respect of the reliability that citizens could put on their data if they were outside the US. It would have meant that the United States-based companies were susceptible to a particularly onerous form of data access, which would apply worldwide.
The Department of Justice, the US Department of Justice, says this ruling puts public safety at risk, and it says it's considering its options. What do you make of that?
I presume that's a reference to whether the Department of Justice intends to appeal the matter to the US Supreme Court. Time will tell as to what they decide to do in relation to that.
And the public safety argument?
Well, as I say, the public safety argument seems to ignore the fact that there's an already existing set of laws and international treaties on the statute book to deal with criminal investigations cross-border. And those laws have been passed inside the US as well as in other countries. And the treaty with the European Union was brought into law domestically as a self-executing treaty and laid before the Houses of Congress. So there are available mechanisms by which criminal investigations cross-border can be pursued.
OK, thank you very much for joining us.